I bet those glasses make you see better.
Going to Lucy, you want to talk about age gap relationships?
Oh gosh, that was also a part of Farha's question that I forgot to answer. When she was saying, is it okay for a 50-year-old to date a 19-year-old? Legally, yeah, it's a grown adult. But I think it's a moral, murky gray area because a 50-year-old and a 19-year-old typically don't have much in common. And there's
Hey, Holly, get off your phone.
Oh, come on. It's past.
Hey, Holly,
my
get off your
bedtime.
phone.
yeah, and then
Hey,
also
get this girl a mochaccino or something.
yes, and then there's also a power dynamic imbalance as well. So I think while it may be legally okay, I wouldn't personally indulge.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing your perspective.
Thank you for letting me share.
I think it's, honestly, I mean, I think most 18, 19, 20-year-old women probably don't want to date 50-year-olds. So,
Probably.
I wanted to.
What's that?
I wanted to.
Yeah. But if there was a circumstance where she wanted to and the guy wanted to, it's consensual. I don't really see the problem with it.
Yeah,
You're referencing like power dynamics, but I mean, I think you can make a counter argument that younger women have way more power in the dating marketplace than 50-year-old men. Like they have way more leverage.
And socially, yes, I think younger women have a lot of social currency, but an older established man might have a lot of economic power and financial security, and that could be extremely attractive to a young romantic prospect.
Okay, so, but is she just with him because of that? Or are there other reasons that she might be interested?
I mean, I can't speak on behalf of these women, but I could see someone being very young and inexperienced and being lured and drawn in by security and stability.
What if she reached out to him though? Like, for example, you would agree that it's logically possible that currently there's like 19, 20, 21-year-old women who, even Brad Pitt, well, he's dating somebody, but assume he's single, view Brad Pitt now and are like, whoa, he's really attractive even though he's an older guy.
Sure.
And they were pursuing him.
There's also
would you object
13-year-olds
to
that
him
message
like
Brad Pitt.
accepting their pursuit?
Well, I mean, I think as long as everyone's of legal age, of course, legally it's totally
19,
fine.
20, 21.
But I just think when you get into more of like the ethics of it,
Make a moral argument for why it's wrong for Brad Pitt to date a 20-year-old.
Okay, well, I didn't say it was, but
You're about to get into the ethics of it, so make a
Sure, okay.
ethical or moral argument for why it's wrong.
Well, I just think someone like Brad Pitt, with all of his social and financial power, would have a lot of leverage over a 19-year-old in a way that makes the relationship inherently imbalanced, which is not wrong, because certain relationships are not totally equal, and that's okay if people want that dynamic for themselves.
But so what is morally or ethically questionable about it?
Well, it's just going into a dynamic knowing that you have so much more knowledge and leverage and power over the other person, and that in more ways than one, you hold a lot of power over them.
I think too, I mean, you can take the biological view, which is your prefrontal cortex, which forms your identity, isn't even developed until you're like 26.
Be quiet, guys.
Yeah.
Isn't developed until you're 26. So even me personally, I know that I'm not going to get married until after that time period because I haven't fully formed my identity. Who you are at like from 19 to like 22 is so different than who you are by 26, and is so different from who you are by 30. So like there are exceptions to the rule.
I have a question though. Would you agree that there are like 18, 19, and 20-year-olds with higher IQ or EQ than say 30 or 40-year-olds?
I would say that that's possible, yes, but
it's logically possible.
I think it's possible.
Well, I don't think it's just possible. I think it's the case that there are plenty of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds who have higher IQ than people in their 30s or 40s.
Sure, but
like I don't think IQ fluctuates that much.
Sure, but what I would say to that is probably if an 18 or 19-year-old has a higher IQ than a 30-year-old, then they wouldn't probably be attracted to the person who's
what if
with
that
a lower IQ.
older person is really, really attractive, but they have a low IQ?
Really talk about again, like I think that if somebody has a super high IQ, they're not going to be attracted to somebody with lower IQ. In fact, there's studies that back this up, that typically people within the same IQ level
that could very well be the case. I think probably people of a certain intelligence would want to date somebody perhaps approaching their level of intelligence or perhaps surpassing it. But the question is then, is somebody who is 18, 19, 20 who has a higher IQ than somebody who's 30, is now there a power dynamic going on where this person is arguably, I mean, you talk about the prefrontal cortex, but their IQ is higher. Arguably, they're just more intelligent than this person, regardless of the prefrontal cortex development. So would there then be a power imbalance in the other way? This younger person has some leverage over the older person in the relationship due to the higher IQ or EQ?
What immediately comes up for me is that, again, IQ is very different from emotional maturity and EQ. So I think that just because the 18 or 19-year-old might have a higher IQ, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're emotionally mature.
Just curious, does anybody here think that they're more intelligent than me? Like, I'm not going to be offended. Like, I'm just curious. Like, do you think you're more intelligent than me?
No, I think you have extreme business savvy, and you clearly know how to run a very successful business.
Yeah,
and
but
you're
are you
a
more
marketing
intelligent than
genius.
me? You're a data scientist. I dropped out of college. Are you more intelligent
No,
than me?
I have more higher education, but that doesn't say anything about intelligence.
Yeah, but okay, let's just talk about general intelligence then. Do you think you're more intelligent than me?
I don't think so. I think.
Let's say you were, though. So if we were to date, would you be, would this like
Oh,
be
are
a
you
predatory
interested?
power dynamic?
Oh God.
Let's just assume I'm really stupid and you're really smart. And we're dating, but we're kind of, what, you're 31, I'm 31, right?
Yeah.
How stupid is really stupid though? Because like if you had like a developmental intellectual disability.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of autistic, so maybe, I don't know, maybe
so am
she's
I.
like, oh, okay, great. So we have like symmetry there,
we
I
should
guess.
But if your IQ is like low, there's
Like
a
you're
point.
high functioning autistic, I'm low functioning
You're
autistic.
not low function. What?
I know, I'm just hypothetical.
Low functioning autistic is nonverbal.
Okay. What, data?
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Okay, love on the spectrum.
that
then.
would be
I
a
don't know.
problem.
What the fuck? This is a love on the spectrum.
Have you ever
episode.
seen episodes of Love on the Spectrum
But-
where you go,
but would it be-
those aren't matched up properly?
Hold on, but would it be like a power dynamic imbalance if somebody with a really high IQ dated somebody with a low IQ?
If you're low enough IQ to
No,
be
not like-
manipulated,
Yeah, if
to where you're able to be manipulated very easily, then yeah, I would say it's a problem.
Okay, but there are genius level IQ people at 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
So within this metric, they would be being predatory towards a 30 or 40-year-old.
I think the point with the whole age gap thing and why it's like frowned upon to date somebody who's 18, 19, 20 is because more often than not, they don't have life experience to kind of guide them through their decision making. Whereas if you're 50, you know how to manipulate somebody because you've kind of lived through that.
Wait, this might be a really stupid argument, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Okay, so would you guys agree that women have higher emotional intelligence than men?
I would say they
Generally.
mature emotionally faster.
But do women have more emotional intelligence?
I think
Not-
to a
I
point,
don't think it's
and then they match up.
necessarily
Yeah, I think it's
gendered.
like women accelerate faster, and then they hit their cap.
Wait, what's
So-
that term that they're always talking about? Is it emotional intelligence?
I think it's
empathy,
emotional
probably.
intelligence.
Oh, okay. So wait, if it's the case that women just across the board almost always have more emotional intelligence than men, this is very predatory of you women to be dating these like low emotional intelligence men. You guys are really fucking predatory.
To be
Like
fair, I
you guys
usually
just
date
fucking
guys a
run
couple years
circles
older than
around
me.
these men with your vast, giant brains and your massive amounts of emotional intelligence. And these poor men, they can't even articulate a feeling or an emotion or a thought. You fucking predatory monsters.
You're so
How
smart.
dare
Maybe that's why so
how
many women
dare
are single
you
right now.
date these men
You're
who
so
have
good at this.
so good at
I'm
what?
so attracted to you right now. No, I think you're so intelligent.
Wait, what the fuck? Shut up.
Oh, you really know what you're doing, and it's working.
What am I doing?
Oh no, you can just create these like thought experiments out of thin air, and it does exactly what you want them to do, and I'm really into it.
Okay, well, there's some tissues over in the back if you need them. But so anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, no, it's just the case. Look, I hear from women, oh, these guys, it'd be great if they worked on their emotional intelligence, da 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 da. You fucking disgusting predators. You guys are fucking apex predators, okay? Apex predators.
Give me a bear suit,
How did
baby.
we get here? We went from
we
like
go against
A
them,
to
but
like B
we want them to get
squared.
better, and we want them to love us and respect us and be loyal to us when all we do is bash them.
Look, I'm just saying, I think, there is something to be said about the power imbalance because, it's just women, you guys have way more emotional intelligence than us men. Just our prefrontal cortex isn't developed enough to.
Oh, no, yours is developed.
What? You're on a whole other planet right now.
Our prefrontal cortex. As men, we're very primal creatures, as she says, and we're just not attuned to the emotional intelligence thing. And I think you women, you take advantage of us. You use us for sex. You use us, and I just find it disgusting. You women, you only think about one thing. You just want to use, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. It's just really despicable, you guys. You guys are abusers. Well, okay, hold on. Yeah, okay, fine. You're abusers. Predatory, very predatory, and
emotional
You can predate
intelligence
me all
will
you
not
want.
save you from what's coming. All
What's
the
that?
wars. Emotional intelligence is not going to fucking save you from a war. It's cool to have it, but it's like really to be like why we keep saying that to men.
You can't win a war without emotional intelligence, the ability to find out why people are doing what they're doing.
What is happening right now is emotional intelligence. Emotional women are so emotional that like this is like the world, the country is everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's Canada at war with?
With themselves. It became a third world country. It's literally you come into Canada, you see. I don't want to say the
They
race.
don't even have cars
I don't
anymore.
want to say the race.
No gas
but
or
you know
electric.
what you
It's
see in
crazy.
Canada.
They're roughing it.
I moved from fucking Iran to Canada to see fucking
She
white
wants
people.
to go back. She's going
No,
back.
I don't want to go back. I want to go somewhere.
Wait, Chair One.
I used to want to go to Europe, but now
Hold on,
that's
he's talking
fucked
about you.
too.
Chair One, it would be great for men to take back control and bring back the nuclear family, but unfortunately, feminism has spread too far.
I think there's a way back.
And
I think
fucked
we can
things
go
up for
back.
many
I think we
generations
can
to
go
come.
back from feminism. We tried it long enough. We know this shit just making us weaker. It's ruining our fucking countries. Everything's getting ruined. It's time to.
All right, you
the
take
new
the first
generation.
step, delete your OnlyFans.
The generation. It's not even this generation is cooked. We need.
I'm having a good time.
Interracial relationships. You wanted to talk about interracial? What's up?
Did I?
You date
Oh.
black guys only exclusively?
No, not
You
exclusively.
like Mexicans or?
I like every race.
But you said you want to talk about interracial relationships.
Oh, I don't remember. But I think it's beautiful that we can date interracially now because there's so much to learn and enjoy from other cultures. Because back in the day we weren't allowed to, and now we can, and it's great to not be limited.
That's why I only date black women.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Do you?
Yeah. Do you identify as
Is that
black?
true?
I can for you. No, I don't.
What the fuck? Huh?
What?
Is Filipino black? Just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, never mind.
No, it's no.
Sorry.
Black of Asia.
Wait. Just kidding. Got some jokes here at the end of the show. We got a comedian here at the table. Okay, we got Josie. Getting back to your notes. I'm going to blast through these really quick. Okay, what did we disagree on? We were talking about like the submissive, dominant. We talked about that for quite a bit. You think it's fine if a woman out earns a man.
Yeah.
You think it's fine if men stay home and
Rear
children.
Yeah.
Let's get them pregnant.
Is that the type of dynamic you'd be fine with?
I don't want kids.
Oh, okay, sure.
But I would be fine if I out earned a man, not by a crazy amount, just because I don't earn enough to support two people. But so equal for where I live would be fine.
I think it's women who are dissatisfied in that setup, though. I don't think it's men who are wholesale like butthurt about that. I think women just. There's been articles and like I think the New York Times or something had some article about women are not finding economically attractive men.
Bingo.
Yeah, why is that? Maybe it's because we made like
because
every
men are far
household
more
have two
unemployed than
incomes.
women.
Yeah, why is that? Because we made every household 2 income, and then the elites.
She's got a point.
The elites know that the more divided we are, the more they can tax us, the more they can make us work, the more we're gonna enslave us.
Double the
And
tax base.
Exactly, double. And then look at this shit. It's keep getting worse. Like it keeps getting worse.
I have a single
And
income
these
family. And
feminists
it's me
are
as the
the
breadwinner.
reason.
So
And we don't want to fucking accept that. And we let it. We let it happen.
and I
You're getting
have no
tax-paid
problem
income.
with it personally.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm not. Yeah,
You're
I'm sure
literally
you're fine
having
with
a
it.
No,
man.
I won't have a problem with it.
Ever indefinitely?
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah, I'm sure there. don't dispute that there's women who are fine with the dynamic, but I don't.
Is she really
think-
fine though? If you,
I don't think
if you
most
think,
women are cool
If
with
you
it.
think she's an OnlyFans girl, right? I know you make money and you think you're proud of it. I used to be proud of being a stripper too. I used to think this shit's fucking cool
I was
as
not
fuck.
proud of being a
Then-
stripper.
or OnlyFans. It doesn't matter any of this. But if you think about it, just imagine a female.
You're a little proud.
No, I did not like being a stripper.
Oh, a stripper, being a stripper.
If imagine a female in her natural habitat.
you should have
being,
brought. Wait, never mind. Sorry. I was gonna say something inappropriate.
I just think none of these OnlyFans girls, if they could think about it, if they didn't have to insert a dildo in their fucking vagina
The dildo-
for
dildo.
money. I know, I don't know why I said dildo. Anyways,
Oh.
if they're while doing this act of doing these things to yourself, while doing it, when you're making these content, think, be like, is this really? I'm a human with consciousness, with power and energy. I'm wasting my human existence inserting
How is that a
dildo
waste?
in my fucking
How is it a
vagina?
waste?
How's it a waste?
How is it a
Fucking
waste?
How?
Bro, it's a waste. You think it's
What would you rather
How?
just cook and clean?
It's
'Cause
more-
I do
it's-
that too.
It's
How's
a
it a
lot
waste?
more beautiful to be in a community with your husband, with your kids, with your family, and just be a village, be a group, take care of each other, and live a meaningful
But I do
life.
all of that.
So I
Yeah,
just have a
and-
question. I just got a question. Can I ask the question though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask the
so
question.
you're saying a lot of things that you do want, and you're saying a lot of things that you don't want.
We ruined men to a
Let me
point.
finish. Let me finish, please. I'm begging you to let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. So what is stopping you from getting the life that you want?
We ruined men. I'm looking for the men
Okay.
that are like,
You're blaming men when you have control of your life.
I don't want this life that I have control of.
Okay, so then
Okay,
delete
then
your
do something about
OnlyFans
it. Do
and then
something
become a
about it.
born again
I don't
Christian
think-
or
I don't think
whatever.
you're
Like that one
Complaining
redhead
about
girl.
men and how like, oh, men are like this and this. First of all, I don't think that should really have anything to do with
I
you.
don't think you
If
guys
you
get
want
it.
like the life that you want, just go for it.
Yeah, it's also weird that
you
you're-
have total
I'm not
control of your
asking-
life.
I'm not asking for forgiveness, and I'm not asking for like someone to be like, "Oh, you're a victim, you can change it." I'm
not saying
this
none
is
of
what
that.
it is.
I'm not
this
saying
is
that.
what it is. This is what I've done. But we need to take a step back because when I did this shit, when I started like 8 years ago, it was something that you weren't like empowered by. It was something that you do as your last like chance. And now we have girls that are empowered by it.
I never said I
This
was
should
empowered
be your
by it.
last choice.
You're just putting words in my
But
mouth. I
you-
never said I was empowered
I thought
by
you
it.
like it.
No, I do like it, but that doesn't mean I'm empowered by
I
it.
did it when
Am I not allowed
when
to
I
just
started.
enjoy sex?
I didn't want to do it. This is my choice.
So
It was
that's
my
your
only
choice,
This
and it
was
is
my
my
only
choice to do it.
And I'm
This
sorry
should
that
be
you
your
had to
only
do something
choice.
that you don't want to do, and that's not fair. And I really do hope that you get help and you can make peace
I
with
can
yourself
stop
so that
now.
you can.
I can stop now. I honestly can stop now.
Okay, then-
So then
I have
do it.
properties, but it's just like, yeah, I could stop it. And honestly, if there is a better, I have no like talent. Like, what am I gonna
Girl,
do?
get some confidence.
No,
Take the
but
money
it's
that
just
you've earned from OnlyFans and go get a college degree.
It's not easy when you get used to making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. It's not easy.
Okay,
to
then
make
why are you
3,000.
complaining? Why are you
Because
complaining?
you shouldn't have been in like this in the first place.
Okay, if you really feel that way though, like hear me out. If you really feel that way, if you really feel that like your life as a woman with like a man should be a certain way, like I need you to know that you have full control of your life to change that. It may not happen in a snap of a finger. but
Exactly,
you
it's
can-
not going to.
Okay.
I only realized
Then-
how much I hate it in the past like a year and a half.
Okay, then
It takes a
you're-
while. It's gradually you get
All
there.
right, then that's good for you.
I have
You're
3
aware.
properties. I'm getting
so go
rid of
ahead and
one.
do
I'm
something
doing
to
it,
get
but
the life that you want.
That's what you do. Simplify. a
That's
little
what I'm
bit.
doing it. That's what I'm doing.
Fire
It
up
takes a while.
Brian's phone. Get that guy
It
on
takes
the
a while.
line.
It's not that easy.
And,
it takes a while.
And
We'll
I
make it
understand that. I really do. But like while you're changing your life to getting to where you want to go,
While I'm changing my life to get there, I'm going to tell people the fucking truth and say how
I
bullshit
do think
this
it's
is.
funny that you're sitting here and you're like, these ladies are bigoted and they do hate men, and you're the one sitting here going, men are gay. All men suck
I
now.
love
Men are
but
gay.
we are making them gay. We are taking
is-
their natural instincts. We're making them at home fucking stay home wives.
Hey,
What
Brian.
Hear
the
me out
fuck
for a
is
second.
this shit?
Hey
Hear me out for a
Brian,
second. That
do you think I'm taking away your natural instinct?
What do you mean?
see that
You don't
that's
think
what I
women
s-
are taking you
hear me
guys,
out for a
you
second.
males' natural instincts by
Hear-
telling you,
hear
like,
me out.
by
That-
telling you, I don't need you as a provider, I don't need you as a protector. That's their in nature.
Okay.
That's their sole purpose.
Hold
I don't
on.
think
That
you guys get it.
narrative,
You want Andrew?
my love. That narrative
the one
is
that you were texting for her.
that narrative is
Oh.
disempowering
Andrew
men. I love
Yeah, did
and
Andrew
respect
say it, answer?
Mandy.
Wait, guys, we have to do a segment called. Okay, you had a disagreement. You said you don't believe the draft argument. is necessarily the right counter argument of the inequality between men and women. I guess what's your disagreement? Or
Yeah, so generally speaking, when this is brought up, sometimes on the not just on this podcast, but in others, to represent the inequality between men and women, a lot of the time I feel like each group is just pointing fingers about who has it worse, who's the biggest victim card.
yeah,
which
men do.
Go
ahead. It's definitely men. Massive victims. Under the matriarchy, men really suffer.
I think there are other examples that men can use as well, considering the fact that I didn't research it before I came in, but I'm not even sure when the last draft actually was. I don't think it was since World War II?
Wrong. No. Erroneous. Well. Erroneous. Vietnam.
Feel free to
Vietnam.
tell me. Yeah, feel free to tell me.
But I would then have to ask you this question. Slavery was also a really long time ago. Is that not an issue? Like, that's not an issue?
These don't feel like good faith arguments, Ryan.
No, it's actually... I know you want to laugh because I'm framing it in a funny way, but it's actually a really strong counter argument.
The consequences.
It's the same equivalent of like,
but it's
this
really,
guy broke up with you. What about this kid with cancer?
No, but here's what you got to contend with.
Is.
If your argument is X bad thing happened a long time ago, then the logic, it would just follow that, okay, well, slavery happened a long time ago. Does that not happen?
Because we still feel the effects and consequences of slavery in our society today, but we don't from the draft.
Erroneous, also erroneous. Boom.
Is it?
Fucking lawyer. You've already lost the argument. I just have to say, no, you're wrong.
Okay.
So here's what it is. So you're wrong in a couple different ways. So there are men who would be alive today that aren't because they were drafted in Vietnam. There are men alive today who were drafted and they're homeless, they have severe PTSD, they have all kinds of problems because of their experience in Vietnam.
I'm saying men as a whole, and the majority of men in the U.S. do not face consequences still and feel the effects still of the draft from the Vietnam War, but black people in America do still feel the effects of
Wait, hold on. I mean,
hundreds of years of slavery and then segregation.
If we want to go back to like World War I, World War II, there were a lot of American men that were drafted in these conflicts, and families were destroyed. Men are dead.
Did we draft in World War I and II? I thought we only drafted in Vietnam. There's always been a draft in existence.
If you don't know that, hold on. You don't think men were drafted in World War I and World War II?
To my knowledge, I thought that Vietnam was the only time we've had to enact the draft.
No,
that men willingly signed up for World War I and World War II in droves.
There were volunteers, but there was also a draft.
Can we double check that?
I'm happy to double check it. Okay, did the USA draft in World War II? Imagine I'm wrong. Oh, I typed World War 23. I was like, yes, the United States did institute a draft during World War II. The Selective Training and Service Act of 1940 authorized a draft even before the U.S. officially entered the war. This act required men between the ages of 21 and 36 to register. 10 million men were inducted into the military through the draft during World War II. Let's do World War I. Yes, the United States did implement a draft during World War I. The Selective Service Act of 1917 authorized the federal government to raise a national army through conscription. This enacted after the U.S. declared war on Germany. I just don't think you have the historical knowledge here to really be, debating me on this. You don't even know if there was a draft for World War I, World War II.
Pretty decent world history knowledge, but I did not know that one.
Hold on, you don't have the requisite historical knowledge and understanding to have this conversation. Sorry.
Okay.
It was a good attempt, though.
Okay.
No draft.
I disagree with you, but okay.
Well, you disagree that there was a draft?
No, I disagree I disagree that not knowing that completely disqualifies me from this conversation.
Yeah, but so these men were forced to go and fight and go to war.
And that's horrible. But today in 2025, the men of today that exist today in the U.S. are not still suffering the consequences from those men that were drafted.
Well, hold on. If there might have been men who were born had it not
The men
been
alive on this
Oh.
country's soil today do not feel the effects of
Well,
the
yeah,
draft.
they never had the
Right,
opportunity to
but
even
the
be born.
but the
because a
black
bunch of
people
men who
alive
could
on the
have
U.S. soil
procreated-
today
but a bunch of men
feel the effects of slavery.
do they?
Yes,
Okay.
redlining and districting, like that's what's sort of plagued the black community for forever.
Wait, but that would be a separate issue from slavery.
It came down from slavery. Slavery became Jim Crow, which became segregation, which became redlining and the bombing.
Also,
that
the
they-
Titanic. Don't get me started on the Titanic.
All right.
Sorry, it's late, so my
Yeah.
arguments are fucking
No,
old.
we're at the end of the night.
Damn, y'all spilling like crazy. What the fuck? Wait, so hold on. Where were we? Who was I? Wait, was the girl out arguing? Get up? She got up? Or,
No.
wait,
No, you were talking to
I
Emily.
was talking to you. Oh, the draft. So wait, what's the argument, really quick?
So I think there's two main things that I have here, which is number one, I think that a lot of the time when in podcasts like this and other ones are brought up, what about the draft? It's more of like, again, the pointing victim blame, like of who can be the biggest victim, who can be the biggest martyr, rather than actually talking about ways that we can create solutions for both groups. But secondly, I would say that I think there are other issues. Like while I come from a family of veterans, and so I understand the long-term impacts that it has. In fact, my own father passed away after the war. So again, I hold a lot of empathy and a lot of respect for people who are veterans. I think that now actively, currently in society, there are bigger issues that if you had to do the who's the biggest victim card, you didn't have to use the draft. But that's just my opinion. That was a little sassy.
Well, I mean, the draft conversation just comes up in conversations about privilege or patriarchy or any sort of feminist-centric conversations.
Sure,
So,
but
I mean, the whole narrative of feminism is women have it worse compared to men. But then when you start, which was convenient for a period, but then when men started playing that same game of, okay, well, let's do analysis of the ways in which men have it or can have it worse, you actually start to discover and uncover quite a bit of ways in which you can make compelling arguments that men have it worse. So it's just playing the feminist game of what women do or what feminists do. Women are disadvantaged, men are privileged, and then it's like, well, in these certain aspects, perhaps, but then if we're going to play the same game of doing comparison, it's just counter-narrative.
True feminism is just evening the playing field.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
What is
in my
true-
experience and in
true
my
feminism?
interpretation of feminism so far is that the initial first wave of feminism was about equal rights, meaning
It's
that, or equal opportunity.
Feminism has never been about equality.
Well,
What the fuck
that
was
might be
suffrage?
that might be your opinion on that. I'm saying that
They got-
other feminists.
okay,
The right
they-
to
have a
work, the
different
right to wear
interpretation
pants,
of
the
it.
right to. What do you
Okay,
mean?
but hold on. Women were able to get rights without corresponding responsibility.
We had to
Can you
become
clarify that a lot
taxpayers.
bigger?
Okay,
a
hold
lot
on.
more clearly?
What duties do women have to society?
What duties?
The same as any other.
Yeah. any
Do they
other
have the same
capable
duties as
person in
men,
society.
potentially?
I would argue yes.
Okay, what about the draft?
It's okay, the one exception, but I do think that women should
you
be
mean
drafted
the one
then.
exception? Hold on, the one exception that results in men dying?
I would say. Oh, would you like to go?
Oh, no, no,
Mandy?
no, no. Go ahead.
I would like to say that I think men and women uniquely have different things that they contribute to society.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in polarity, meaning that there are certain strengths that women have and magic that they bring, and there's certain strengths that men have and magic that they bring.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the draft might be one example of that, where men may be physically stronger. I also think, correct me if I'm wrong, there were also a lot of female medics during that time.
It's that men are not physically strong.
Well, even if I grant that there were female medics, there are perhaps nurses. When I think of medics, I think of like in the field, but they weren't drafted. No woman was forced to become a nurse. So, to your point, though, feminism has not been about equality.
Well, now it is. I'm
hold
in
on,
favor
hold on,
of drafting us.
Well, hold on.
Next
But-
topic.
But this idea that feminism is about equality. The most charitable definition I'll give feminism is women's advocacy, which is fine. That's cool. But I think it's this idea in terms of equality, women were able to secure the right to vote without the corresponding responsibility that men had for them to be able to vote, which was you're subject to forced military conscription. Women were able to completely avoid that duty, while men, it's been 100 years, by the way, over 100 years since women have had the right to vote. There's been no push by feminists to equalize forced military conscription. So I ask you again, men have duties to society. What duties do women have?
To pay taxes and contribute to
So do men.
society. Yeah,
What-
equal.
Okay, well, hold on. No, not really, because the government can say, you know what, we're at war. We're going to send the men to the meat grinder and they can go die, or they can get.
I think that
limbs
if we're
lost
drafting, we should draft both.
Okay, but
There we go.
Or we could,
okay,
I
that's
mean,
great.
an alternative of
It's
that.
great that you think that, but it's not the case currently with the law.
Hallelujah.
Do you want it to be the case? We're already
Well, hold on,
getting
but if we're
taken
having
over.
if we're having a conversation about equality and women being able to vote, and they can vote in representatives who can send men to war.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're talking about equality, like fully being equal to each other, yeah, why? If we're not equal, we'll never will be.
Right, but that's what feminists are saying. Oh, we should be equal.
Yeah, they're saying that
So
like
it should be
men
equal.
should be in women's thing because we have the same strength. So yeah, if you think men can compete in women's whatever, then yeah, we should go to war. Let's do it, and let's fuck up the country even more by sending us to war.
Okay, maybe I'm tired and this is a totally bonkers idea. So I'm open to hearing feedback about this, but why don't we just, if a feminist movement or any movement just removed the forced inscription or of the draft, and then that's like it's solved, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So you're saying the solution for getting to
Possible
equality would be to remove the draft?
Yeah.
Also
Okay.
down for that.
Okay, that's
So
great, but you do realize that nations are not going to relinquish their rights to force its citizenry into a military conflict if they deem it necessary.
One more time. Sorry, I'm tired.
They should.
Well, okay, let me ask you guys a question. Say that there's
Okay. I think
Or
I
they could-
understand a little bit better. Okay. One thing that I challenge though with that is back with I just watched this movie, so again, maybe not the best source, but the Desmond Doss one. One of the things that I noticed is that with the cultural expectation back then is that men were very excited to go to war. They had something to fight for. They had the country to protect. They had women to protect, and a cause to fight and to defend.
they were.
So
They were
men-
also propagandized, but okay.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point.
And also, I mean, you said they were defending women. Back then, there was this idea of chivalry. Women were ladies, men were gentlemen.
Sure, but
now
I think
We didn't have to draft for Iraq. People willingly signed up for Iraq and
right
Afghanistan.
now we have. At no other point in human history have there been more women who are sex workers and strumpets and all this stuff, right?
Nothing's
So this like
changed.
idealized, like, yeah, men want to go and die for women. Why?
Because you
Oh,
are the
I think
Are
Yeah,
women
they got a lot
virgins?
of-
Like, are women virgins
They don't even
anymore?
want to have
Well, I
kids
don't
with
think
you
they
guys
do it
anymore.
just because a woman is a virgin. I think
Okay,
that
but
she's,
hold
I
on.
think,
If for men to be virtuous, women also need to be virtuous.
sure, but I think
Is
there's-
it
there's-
only men have to be virtuous?
Of course not.
Okay, so women should be virtuous too.
But
should
I
they
think our
not?
definitions of virtuous are different now.
Is
but yeah.
female virtuousness negotiable?
female virtuous?
Like
Men?
men should be willing to sacrifice their lives, but so what sacrifice should women? What's the sacrifice women do? What's their sacrifice? What are their duties?
they have sex with men when they don't want to.
Hold on, wait, what?
Well,
That's
I think there's a couple
crazy.
of
Why
different
would they
things.
not
Like
want
if
to,
they
though?
have children, then obviously when the men are at war, they're the ones taking care of the children.
Okay.
That would be one. I think that
Having children? Are
one-
women having children?
Yeah, basically, but no one's even
No, they're not.
having
Hold
children.
on. Okay,
Well, I
if the
think-
duty,
okay, whoa,
the
whoa,
answer
whoa,
is
whoa,
having
whoa, whoa,
children,
whoa.
but women are not having children.
not necessarily. I think there are plenty of women, especially conservative women, especially Southern women. I see it all the time as a Southern girl that
Right,
are
but
wanting to get married and are like, have you?
Yeah, but okay.
Maybe we're on different sides of TikTok, but every single one of my videos on TikTok are, oh my God, I can't wait to get married. Like, I'm 22 and I want to get married.
Okay, yes, there are. I'm not saying there's a complete absence of more conservative leaning women who do want to have children, but we are, what is it called? The birth, there's a birth, what's the word for it? Like the birth rate's
crisis
all fucked,
or the birth epidemic.
population collapse, all this stuff. So if it is and first off, there's not a government mandated duty for women to have children, but there is a government mandated potential risk that men are going to be sent to war to go and die.
Okay.
I'm not
But
suggesting.
didn't men
I'm not
create
suggesting
that?
there should be.
Didn't men like create the draft?
Force that draft.
What? Okay, the but other men argument.
no,
I mean,
she's
that's a bit of a
woman.
red herring, but.
I mean, I'm not against. I'm not a strong feminist, but
Well-
it was also made by men.
Brian, what I'm curious about from
men
you.
didn't set anything up as a monolith, and it's a bit of a red herring, logical fallacy. So, do you think men deserve current disadvantages because some small group of powerful men in the past set up a supposed system?
No, I'm just saying if you have problems with the draft, like who implemented the draft?
Well, can I ask you a question? So,
Sure.
if let's say you live in a utopian society, but there's other societies that want to like take your land or just they're aggressive and belligerents. So even if your own society within your own walls is totally utopian and like everybody's equal and everything's fantastic, wouldn't you want to defend that society from potential outside invaders?
Yes.
So even in a utopian society, there would still be a need for its citizenry to have to defend said utopian society.
I'm not
Well,
saying
going
abolish
by
the
that-
military.
No, like I'm very
by that.
pro-military. Everyone in my family's military. I've married an active duty military member.
Right,
Like,
but in a utopian
all
society,
I'm
do you
saying
think
is
a lot
if
of
you
people
have
are going to join the military?
if you have a
If you
problem
offer financial
with the draft,
incentives, absolutely.
it was a man who made the draft, and it's a man who's in power now who could put women in the draft, and they're not.
I don't think you're
Right, but
against
that's-
draft.
No, I'm not against draft
No, I
at
don't
all.
think
Yeah.
he's even against draft. He just wants to have a reason to be in the draft. They're not saying they don't want to save you guys. They're saying, why would we save these hateful women that don't even like us? It's worth dying for when the woman loves you, takes care of you, have a child for you, and their whole life is you. Then yeah, they're gonna go
But
die
most
for you.
most men were not sitting at the table when these systems were built.
Yeah,
Like,
but it was
I
still a
wasn't
man
sitting
who
at the
decided
table.
it.
Okay, a man.
And it's still a
hundreds of
man
years
now
ago,
who's
thousands of
deciding
years
it.
ago.
Well, there's people actively in the seats of power right now. I don't know exactly if they're men or women. I would assume that they're dominantly
if a
men.
woman,
but
if
I'm
a
not
woman
saying
was in
that
power,
argument.
but if a woman was in power, the draft wouldn't disappear tomorrow.
I didn't say it
I
would.
think it depends on her her beliefs.
Well, can I ask
but
you?
sure.
Okay, let
Like
me
in
give you an
the
example.
Structure at the time.
Let me give you an example. So let's say that. Again, we live in a utopian society and everything's really great here, but there's this other society that wants our stuff and wants our land because our land is better or whatever, or they think that our land is their land. And then they raise an army and they invade. Let's say that they have more soldiers than we have soldiers. This is a hypothetical scenario. We know that their army is more powerful because they have more soldiers.
Sure.
But and our volunteer army is not big enough to defend against their larger army. But if we force some men to go and fight, then we can repel the invading force.
Don't force them.
Sure,
Offer
so
them more
there's-
money.
There's two things that I would say here,
Okay,
which
but
is
Also, America's
Can I-
military is the
It's
strongest
Can I make
military
one
in the
point?
country
One second,
already.
let me respond to her thing. Yeah, I know that, but it's
So, like,
hold on, but it's a hypothetical in a random ass state. So it's cooked into the scenario that the men don't want to volunteer, like they don't want to die. Doesn't matter. You could offer me $1 million. You can offer me a $10 million. I'm not going to fucking Ukraine.
okay.
I'm not going to, I don't care how much money you offer. My life is priceless.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of dudes who absolutely would.
So
Sure. Sure.
yeah.
That's how the military gets people as it
Okay,
is.
but I don't think the
So-
military. It's not clear to me if the military in all of these circumstances would be able to like offer each soldier $1 million, and then the existing soldiers are going to be like, "Oh, you're paying them $1 million? Well, I'm not going to fight unless you pay me $1 million."
The U.S. military could. But that's what I'm saying.
I don't think
is
the
that
U.S. military
So,
pays
okay,
nothing.
There's
Yeah, they don't.
They
yeah,
pay literally
the
nothing.
United States military, the most powerful military in the world, pays dog shit.
No, they pay
Yeah.
literally nothing.
so
that's,
there's
that's the problem. But
Yeah.
that's the way that the reason people join the military today is for the money.
No.
It's typically
So,
people who
money
just
and
want
free
to
education.
stay.
Hold on, hold on,
It's
hold on, hold on,
people
hold
who
on.
want out of their small towns typically.
It's one of the reasons. I'll grant that.
There's a lot of things here, which is number one, my previous boyfriend was actually, he was in the military. And so I know a good little bit about the benefits and such like that. But before I even met him, I mean, the reason that he joined the military, and I respect him and a lot of men that also have these similar beliefs, is that they believe in protecting the rights of our country. He was in the military way before he had me as a girlfriend and before he was considering me as a wife. And so his purpose was he wanted to protect, again, the rights of this country, the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, and the fact that we are a big superpower as a country, just period. And so that's one thing, is that I believe that regardless of what you believe about women, I think there's a lot of respect that I have for men who just want to protect the country so that we can continue to have the rights that we have. Number one. Number two, if in this scenario, like, let's say the men don't want to volunteer, I'm not against the idea of, okay, yes, men and women can be drafted into it. They may play different roles. That's what for people who are way higher up and way smarter than me can think about, which is, okay, maybe the women, if they're not physically as strong for being on the front lines or whatever it is, I think there's some women that could probably meet those qualifications. But if not, then they can be medics. They can be, there's how many people in the military aren't even on the active war, and they're in the background doing tech and doing drones and monitoring things?
I would still argue, even in scenarios where we did open up the draft to women, it would still be some degree of injustice or inequality, because invariably you would put the women in safe positions where they're out of harm's way. So even if technically we do equalize the draft, it's ultimately still going to be some form of male disposability where the men are always going to be sent to frontline combat positions, and the women are in like these, like you said, like what's it called? Sorry, I'm fucking tired. Back of the line positions.
I don't know how necessarily true that is.
It's
And again, I don't
100%
have the
true.
stats for it, but like,
Women
again,
are
the
not
medics are going to be
doing
in the
frontline combat.
I mean, depending, if we're having really bad numbers for the military, we may not have no choice but to put women on the front lines.
Or just give up on the.
I think we should just
war.
take all the men out of the military and just put women all in the military and just let them fight for a couple
Which
years.
equals your country going to someone else's.
Let's go, girls.
Thanks for watching. There is hope in Jesus Christ. He will never leave you or forsake you. Like and subscribe and join our Discord for friends and more.